Hi guys. Today we're going to talk about a man named Gideon. But first we have to talk about the Israelites and the Midianites. As we know, the Israelites were God's chosen people. They were his children. But as we also know, the Israelites had a habit of getting away from the God who saved them. As a result, the Midianites had started taking over the Israelites. They were doing things to torment them, even taking their food. God wanted to use someone to help the Israelites get out from under the Midianites, and he chose Gideon. In fact, God sent an angel and told Gideon that he wanted to use him to save the Israelites. Now, Gideon was kind of just your average Joe. He didn't think he could do it, and he didn't think God would want to use someone like him. But as we know, God can use anyone he chooses to use. Gideon's first task was to take down the altar of Baal, the false god, and he did what God asked. Even though Gideon did what God asked, he still wasn't sure he was hearing things right. He just didn't think he was worthy of being used in that way. So he proposed something to God. He put a fleece or cloth on the ground in the evening, and he asked God to please make the fleece or cloth wet with dew during the night, while keeping the ground around it completely dry. And if this happened, then he would know that God was the one speaking to him. Well, it worked. The next morning, the fleece was soaked with dew, but the ground around it was completely dry. But Gideon still wasn't convinced. He needed one more moment of proof. So he asked God to do the opposite. He laid the fleece on the ground again, and in the night, if the fleece was completely dry and the ground was soaking wet when he came back in the morning, he would know for sure that God was the one talking to him. And it worked again. Gideon knew for sure and for certain that he was being called to deliver the Israelites from the Midianites. So Gideon got an army of 32,000 soldiers together, confident that the Lord would help him win. But God said that it was too many soldiers. God said that if the Israelites won the battle against the Midianites with 32,000 soldiers, they would think it was because of their army and their fighting skills that they won. But God wanted them to know that they needed him to win this battle. He told Gideon to send home anyone who was afraid. Gideon told every man who was afraid of fighting to go home, and 22,000 men left. Only 10,000 were left in the army. But God said that was still too many. He told Gideon to take the 10,000 soldiers down to the water to drink. And he said that only the soldiers who drank the water out of their hands could stay and fight. So Gideon did as God told him, and that left only 300 men. The Midianites outnumbered them 50-1. But Gideon trusted that God would help the Israelites win the battle, so he brought the army in anyways. Gideon and the 300 soldiers went to the edge of the Midianites' camp in the night. They blew on trumpets and smashed jars and waved around torches. By the noise, the Midianites were scared and confused. Some of them ran, and some of them even turned on each other. The Israelites won the battle, and they didn't even have to fight. Now, I think there are a couple morals to this story. First, God shows us that he can use anyone he wants to, whether or not they think they're worthy. If God believes someone is worthy, then they're worthy. Secondly, this story shows us the importance of faith. Gideon had faith that God would help them win the battle, even if it seems like they weren't going to win. Faith is believing that God will take care of something, even if you aren't sure that he will. You trust him. So if you're ever facing something and you feel like you can't do it by yourself, if you have faith in God, he can help you do it.